Scientology.
You'll never know.
They'll never know. Jeez.
We're friggin' nobodies with Jacob and Noel. We're friggin' nobodies. Welcome to our show. We're friggin' nobodies. We don't know much. We're friggin' nobodies. We're holding out of touch.
Okay.
Okay, trying to do live theme songs. We chose banjo for the last couple, and we might switch to a new instrument next time. We'll see.
Yeah. This will be called our banjo period when historians go through our body of work.
I don't know who went first last time.
I can't remember. Doesn't matter. I have more than you. I'll go first.
Sure. Fair
And
enough.
also, I know you worked hard on this one, so I
did
imagine
not.
it'll be really punchy. So we'll start with the weak stuff first, then move on to
This
the...
will not be a good one for me.
It's
Take it
really
away.
cold in here today, man. All right, so, you ready?
No. But fire away anyways.
Okay.
Fire away.
Other than litigation, where are Scientology's miracles? That was my title, hey?
Yeah. Nice.
I'm looking forward to the discussion on this topic more than I am writing, mainly because, as an atheist, all religions suffer with the same issue, for me, with the miraculous. It's all secondhand news. What really gives the older religions clout is the length of time people have been spreading that news about miracles.
Okay.
When it comes to modern miracles, well,
I'm
there-
already uncomfortable with
yeah,
this.
there seems to be a whole pile of plausible deniability, whether it's disappearing gold tablets of Mormonism, or the statues crying tears of blood, the three secrets of the Fatima. On the less plausible side, the three miracles required for sainthood in the modern age are, well, they're pretty tenuous at best. Like, you look up Teresa, there's a lot of heavy lifting done by uncertainty and untraceable causality,
Okay.
especially in regards to medical miracles. I suppose in some ways that the uncertainty is
Save the
kind
soul,
of
not the body.
it's kind of the point of miracles, in regards to the faith aspect, the uncertainty. But it's pretty underwhelming stuff. Calling on gods to inflict plagues on your enemy and having God oblige, that's big miracle stuff. You can eat fish and bread,
That's a
big
good
miracle stuff. Yeah,
Like it.
Coming back from the dead, big miracle stuff. A bacterial infection is cured because a lady prayed to Mother Teresa, not that day, but in the past, and then he got cured. Well, that's pretty weak. That's pretty tenuous.
I'd have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
That's one
So-
of the miracles.
I want miracles, but I'm not going to twist my brain in knots trying to find a path from. I'm not sure what happened to. It's definitely the spirit of L. Ron Hubbard that allowed me to hit 15 consecutive green lights, man. I don't want to do that.
That's their story, but okay.
On the topic of old L. Ron Hubbard, Jacob and I were accosted by Scientology goons in our youth. We were filming downtown.
We also accosted them a little bit, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but we were just filming downtown with a Scientology church in the background. And goons in suits sent us packing.
I sure did.
At the time, the church was in a bit of a pickle because they were fighting in the law courts to prove that they were a legitimate church, bent on spiritual betterment and not just grift, or looking for a way to avoid paying taxes.
This was pre-Tom Cruise
that
video
was,
release.
It was early 90s, I think. Now, tensions were understandably high at the time. The situation has cooled somewhat since the legal system has proved, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Scientology is a religion. And I think this is where the miracles have gone in the modern world.
Okay.
It's difficult to build your way up to God. We've discussed this. The infinite, all-powerful kind of God with arguments and proof. It's a very difficult task. If you're making a new God based on religion in the present, like new big God stuff, then you've got your work cut out for you. Without miracles, you're going to have to fiddle around with culty stuff for a spell before enough time has passed that regular folks see you as an institution that's been around long enough to seem legitimate. Or at least stop with the pointed questioning. I'm looking at you, LDS, the Latter-day Saints.
Latter-day Saints, yeah, I know.
So
Nice commercials.
until yeah, I forgot about them. Until miracles make a surprising and unexpected comeback, it's going to be cults and grifters and technicalities by the letter of the law. Those are the religions we're going to get.
Agreed.
So I want more miracles.
I wouldn't mind more
Give
miracles
me a good
myself.
one.
It'd be a miracle if this write-up was any good.
Oh yeah, mine was bad.
Yours is
He's
not
got all
bad.
the punchy ones. He's
Oh,
going
this
to
one's not going to be so punchy because I didn't spend any time on this at all.
Oh, speaking of miracles, these MFers ever get to the Stanley Cup final and win?
That'll count as a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to read it. I don't have any faith in this.
Fire away!
Hey.
Life is so much easier without being plagued by Thetans.
There is no one better at providing solutions to the problems that we will create, just for you. Being clear isn't just waking up to a new day, it's waking up to the new day. Scientology. The law says we're a religion, and that's what matters most. One of those ought to work.
I want to be careful with this one because Scientology is famously litigious. Is that correct enunciation?
Yeah.
And also because it sits in this weird space between religion, self-help system, business model, and science fiction franchise.
Don't forget culty.
Yeah, it's culty too, yeah.
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard was a pulp sci-fi writer, and he's widely reported to have once joked that if you really wanted to make money, you shouldn't write science fiction, you should start a religion. And whether he said that sentence exactly like that or not, Scientology does feel like a religion that was designed by someone who thought in terms of systems, paywalls, and intellectual property. It has levels, it has upgrades, it has premium content, and crucially, it has very expensive premium content. Advancement in Scientology is tied to money in a very direct way. The higher you go, the more you pay. And what you're paying for is spiritual purification, psychological freedom, and eventually access to the deeper cosmology, which includes, and this is real from what I know, a gigantic ruler named Xenu who, millions of years ago, stacked billions of beings around volcanoes and blew them up with hydrogen bombs, and their disembodied souls now cling to human beings and cause spiritual problems. That's pretty awesome, actually.
Those are Thetans.
I almost want to become a
Yeah.
Scientologist already. You don't get told that part until you've paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
and then
in-
someone leaks it. That's the only reason we know about it.
Scientology also famously targets celebrities and powerful people. I mean, really, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
If you're looking for money. Not
Looking at you,
target
Beck.
poor people. It believes influential people move culture, and unsurprisingly, it tends to work better for people who are already rich. Well, what's interesting to me isn't just whether it's true or false. It's that it feels like a perfect fusion of modern impulses: self-help culture, textile progression systems, pop psychology, capitalism, and science fiction world building. It promises you that you are not just broken, you are secretly incredible. You have hidden powers. You are meant for greater things. You just need the right system
Yeah.
and the right payments.
And you're fixable.
In that sense, it doesn't feel that alien at all. It feels like a very modern religion. Maybe too modern. That's all I got.
Yeah. Also, if you are a celebrity, you start at level 5, eh?
I was going to write up the story about when we went to go apply to be Scientologists, which we did.
Yeah.
We walked into
filled
the
out
building,
form. They
we
have the
filled out the
questionnaire.
form, and they did not like me. They figured I was up to something pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And no callback, no come talk to us in the secret. But he got invited to a secret room.
I did. It wasn't a secret room.
We were definitely playing with them.
Yeah.
Just be honest about that. We had no intention of joining. We were just going out of curiosity.
So he was in the army, eh?
Yeah.
And I was in the army too, but just the reserves, not regular force. Not enough to let us be mercenaries.
Was my dream.
One day I went downtown. I was going to a consignment store,
Yeah.
but it wasn't open till 11, so I was down there an hour early. And someone in one of the suits came by from the Scientology church, which was nearby,
Yeah.
in Gastown, and said, "Hey, you want to come in for a sermon?" I thought I got an hour to kill, so I went in, and they set it up like a regular church with a pew up at the not a pew, but a lectern up the
Okay.
front, and all the pews, and it was I don't know maybe half a dozen derelicts, myself, and an equal number of people in suits, like well dressed, clean cut people in suits. And the guy got up at the lectern and he started running his speech. And this speech consisted of just getting you to notice things. Like, I want you to look around the room and I want you to see what you think is important. Then I
Sounds lovely.
want you to see it again and appreciate it. And then I want you to look around and see it again. And he repeated it. I counted them out, a couple of them. There 12 to 13 times. He asked you to see the same thing. To see a person, a chair, something in the wall that was something that was important, something that was unimportant. And after about 5 or 6 of these, I looked around the room thinking, like, what is this goddamn garbage? And one of the clean-cut fellas looked over and went like, so I would have someone to bond with.
Right, that's what you think they were doing.
Absolutely. They did it in the army. They picked one person, they made him an awful, awful person, usually someone in charge.
Right.
So everyone would bond. So I could look to you and go, this guy's a fucking idiot. Or they would pick out one person and make them, that's army stuff. But that's what they did. They wanted you to bond with someone. So you could say, wasn't that crazy? And then they invited me in to watch their promotional video. After this sermon, which was all, it was Hollywood production.
I bet. They got the staff.
They got the staff, they got the money.
Why
but
not?
It was ridiculous rhetoric. And it was just so over the top manipulative. But I assume there's half a dozen derelicts in there for a reason, and myself. Like, they'll take anyone in the hopes that they can get some money. But about 3/4 of the way through the video, I couldn't help. I ended up laughing. That's when they threw me out. But yeah, they don't put up with people making fun of you or questioning it too much. They throw you right out.
Scientology, Scientology, Scientology now.
Hi, Xenu. Thank you for answering the call of civic duty. A simple tax inspection and relocation review. The ship awaits. Of course, there's no way I'm going to load up volcanoes with hydrogen bombs and blow you all up in the name of population control. Sanu! Sanu!
Scientology, Scientology, Scientology now.
Yes, your experience hearing those speeches and laughing at them. I mean, God, that's why we went, though.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why we went there, was to see those funny things and laugh about them. We went to mock the people. It was kind of cruel, I suppose, our intentions.
Not the second time.
And I'm going to be a
I
little
just needed an hour to kill.
bit fair, try to be somewhat charitable. I fully understand people trying to find meaning in the modern world and reaching out to a religion to do it. And if you can get a sense of community from it, it all seems much more believable. I mean, it's not just Scientology. I've seen Mormons and Jehovah's do this.
No, it happened at Waco.
Yes. You can go bad, too. You
It
can also
happened
go
with
bad.
The Secret, and it happened with that goddamn Eckhart Tolle dude.
I can't remember what he did.
He was the one who went through and looked at all the prophets and wise men and seers all through history and just took all their quotes and put them in a book and said, I did this for you. Now you can be better.
Right.
Each one of them is an entire course or a lifetime dedicated to pulling apart. He just compiled them all and said, I did this. Fuck that guy.
Right. Yes. Because I like metaphysics and I like religion. Do I like all forms of religion?
No.
Do I think it's good to just obediently, slavishly follow religions? No, of course not. But I like them, and I understand there's I believe that we all have God-shaped holes in us to some degree. He doesn't. That could be another conversation.
That are made by
someday.
God-shaped bullets.
So I don't necessarily blame people for reaching for things. Even Scientology, as preposterous as it seems. Now, with the modern religions, because it's harder to have a sense of mystery when you know so much about them.
Yeah, that's the problem with the new ones is you get to see. I'm not saying this is true, but I don't ever get to interact directly with any of the prophets or prime movers in the older religions. I don't get to meet Paul or Saul, regardless of which one. And I don't get to question them at all. But I can watch L. Ron Hubbard, and I can read his Battlefield Earth series.
Yes, you can.
And I can realize, like, this is just a dude, and he's ridiculous. And Joe Smith?
Yeah.
Like,
That's close enough that we know a decent amount.
He was gunned down by people he owed money to when they approached his hotel, and he saw them coming. He opened fire on them. And when they got into the hotel, he ran away and broke his leg jumping out the door, and they executed him. That's not a great prophet.
But as the South Park guys have shown more than a few times, people who are Mormon generally end up being nice, friendly people.
They were super nice.
Who are very easy to deal with, very easy to work with, and very friendly.
A friend of mine had problems, and the Mormons were just right there to help.
Yeah, it can be very helpful. It's just a matter of like, can you turn off that part of your brain that says this is ridiculous? Nobody took gold plates away, and like,
or better yet, can you stomach the weird inconsistencies to have that sense of community? Because a sense of community is nice.
yes.
I don't know that you need a good reason for making that community other than being in a community, but it doesn't always work that way.
No, and especially today when everybody's so divided with internet and whatnot, we don't know our neighbors that well anymore, and we all fall into our own worlds. It's nice to go to a building where you can all share some common beliefs.
That's not a Comic-Con. It's not a
That's
community.
not a Comic-Con, although they have a religious flavor to them
They
after
do as
a
well.
while. It's no doubt about
And
that.
that's I'm not going to say that's why I don't believe in religion, but the big groups of like-minded people always upset me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either, and yet I like religion, and I'm trying to find a church I like going to. I've not really been successful so far. The one we've gone to a couple times seems really corny.
You don't say that on camera, man. They'll be all over you. Google tracks this, you know.
Yeah. So Scientology did, when I first heard about it, it read like a New Age religion. It read like a bunch of New Age stuff. And because there was some stuff about like spending a lot of time in steam rooms because you sweat out these thetans. Are they called thetans?
Thetans, yeah.
Yeah, you can sweat them out or something.
They
like
had
that,
to take away
apparently.
the e-meter. The e-meter was a device that they could run over you to tell how clear of thetans you were. And legally they had to remove that from their practice.
Oh, I so badly want one of these meters.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Nothing. That's why they had to take it away. They couldn't definitively prove that there were more or less thetans after the treatments.
Right.
Whoever was doing your arbitration would go and read your e-meter, and if they thought maybe we can get some more money out of this person, they
Right.
would say you failed. And then you'd have to run that section of the course again.
Well, I told you about that guy that came to deliver the fork extensions to me at work not too long ago.
That's the rudest thing I've heard all day.
For a forklift, if your forks aren't long enough, you put these
yeah,
extensions
it
on, it
needed
makes
an
it longer.
extension.
Yeah,
It needed-
fork extensions.
Yeah,
So
it's still
he
rude.
drops them off, and then he pops out of the truck. I got to sign a piece of paper. I'm like, "Hey, man, nice to meet you." And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I say, "Oh, we do research, precious metals and stuff like that." And he says, "Oh, did you know that human beings have been designed to mine gold because the alien spaceships operate on gold parts, and they sent us here thousands of years ago to mine gold for this reason."
Damn.
Yeah, this is just out of the blue. Just drops this crap on my head. Like, wow, this guy's awesome.
Does
I
he,
want to
does he
hear
have
more.
a podcast?
That's what he told me about the Black Pyramid in Alaska, which you said when you checked it out.
Yeah, I tried checking it out. It's super far underground. They've only picked it up with ground sonar.
So it's real?
I don't know. I don't know if it's real. It's no more real or less real than the HARP project. What do you got there? Oh, we're beaming like
Anyways,
14
isn't that an
megawatts
L.
worth-
Ron Hubbard story? Is that we were designed to mine gold for alien spaceships?
don't know.
Isn't in that? What's the story of Battlefield Earth?
I don't know. I've never read it.
The man monkeys were brought here.
Man animals.
Man animals.
Operating machinery.
Yeah, to mine for the aliens.
They
weren't
were mining. It could be L. Ron Hubbard. I don't know.
Anyways,
I do know that I like L. Ron Hubbard. Like he had a cult that was running for a good reason because he was incredibly charismatic, a great storyteller.
He was involved in the occult when he was younger too.
Yeah, he was in with the OTO, the Oriental Order of the Templars, with Aleister Crowley.
Okay.
Because Crowley got kicked out of the English one, came to America, and he ran the OTO in America for a little while with, they were trying to make Jack Parsons, a rocket scientist for NASA. He was a
Yeah.
solid fuel rocket guy. They were trying to make him the new Antichrist. No, he was going to make the new
Antichrist.
He was going to make the new Antichrist.
What's wrong with the old Antichrist?
I don't know, man. But they were going to create a moon child, him and some B-movie starlet. So they just had to have a lot of sex, and they were going to make a new moon child. And then L. Ron Hubbard ended up conning that woman into leaving with him. And they stole $50,000 or $25,000
Or they
of
fell
Jack
in
Parsons'
love, one or
money.
the other, yeah.
And then hopped in the OTO boat and sailed it around and sold it in California and then started Scientology. So he was in with Aleister Crowley and his cult for a bit.
It's got some culty
Vibes?
tendrils on it.
Yeah.
It's also got
What he did,
conspiracy theory.
once he got
type
his
stuff
cult,
wrapped into it.
He got a collection of 3 or 4 boats and put all of his followers on the boats and then they sailed around the Caribbean looking for pirate treasure.
No, they did.
They absolutely did. They went looking for gold and pirate treasure with these people.
Okay, yeah, you're just selling me more and more.
I know.
It's really
It's awesome.
I want to go sail around looking for pirate treasure. That sounds great.
That was only for the higher ups. You got to pay a lot to do that.
I don't have enough money.
And I
for
don't
it.
think miscaviage is.
I guess what we're saying here is like, don't become a Scientologist unless you're rich. If you're rich, have fun with it. Go at her, have a good time.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty fun. But also it sounds really stupid.
Oh
too.
no, it was not a healthy place. What never happened though is he never touched on any of the people in his crew.
You mean he wasn't a sleazy,
He wasn't a
sex
cult.
deviant kind
No.
of thing?
He called himself, I don't know if it's a captain or the admiral. Admiral. On
Yeah,
a
this
ship.
is in that movie, The Master or whatever, that Paul Thomas Anderson one.
I don't know, I've
Philip
never seen
Seymour
it.
Hoffman. I've not seen it either.
I just liked reading about
He
it.
plays L. Ron Hubbard, and
But
he's on a big yacht.
he had a whole bunch of like young girls that would dress in like sea uniforms.
Okay.
And what he would do is he would sit in his room and
I
not
like the
talk,
pirate treasure part.
not talk to any of his followers. But these girls would come in and he would tell them, I want you to do this and tell this person that they're fired or they need to do this or they need to be punished. He didn't interact with anyone directly. He just sent these girls out, but he didn't touch on them. There was never any allegations of sexual misconduct with him.
Huh. Well, either they were incredibly brainwashed or he was not a pervert.
No, he was just into straight power, but not sexual power. He wasn't a sex...
Does it? I mean, you can be a bad man without preying on young girls.
Oh, yeah.
There's other ways to do it.
I guarantee he wasn't a good man. But he wasn't like a Crowley-type figure who was trying to turn into a jizz wizard.
Well, Crowley...
Like everything was bodily fluids with him.
I feel like Crowley might have actually believed some of the stuff he was saying.
I don't know, man. He stole a lot of it.
But maybe L. Ron Hubbard did too. Who knows what these people actually think?
Blavatsky was a mess as well.
But I mean, they do tend to think that you can get superpowers from it. That if you manage to remove these thetans and you recognize your full potential, that suddenly you could solve things. I mean, Tom Cruise talks about it in his magic speech that he gives. You can see it on YouTube, Tom Cruise Scientology. He's like, oh, if I see that there's a car accident, of course I have to stop because I can do things other people couldn't do. And he's serious. He means it. You know, I think in some ways this late period action star thing he's been doing, because he was trying to become an artsy guy for a while. He was in The Color of Money, and he was in Magnolia, and he was in Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, he was in Top Gun, where his call sign was Smirking Dickhead.
He was trying to work with every big director. First he did those types of things, but
And
then he
I watched
started
every Tom
transitioning.
Cruise movie, man.
But now he does all these action ones, and I think part of it is he believes he can do anything because the Scientology. Now, to be fair, believing you can do a thing is a pretty good step towards being able to do it.
There's not a lot of pushback from the world telling him he can't do it, and he seems to keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, because if you have enough faith in sports, a lot of athletes talk about the idea of envisioning yourself winning it.
Yeah.
Right? And that this is a positive way to train. You know, you do all the actual training too.
Don't.
You can't just sit there like a big fat slob and be like, I'm going to win the Stanley Cup, and then you win it somehow.
No matter how it smells. Like, you might smell like a quarterback, but you're never going to be one.
You need to put in the work as well. But if you put in the work and you believe, and I've said this about boxers too, you have two boxers of equal skill, and it's a 50-50 fight. One of them is an absolute die-hard atheist, and the other one is a strong religious person who believes God wants him to win. I think that gives you an advantage.
I think any sort of, at the top, it's just tiny little advantages.
Doesn't mean it's right, but I think it gives you,
Well,
yes.
it depends which God.
It should be the Christian one, probably.
Because he's really interested in who wins a boxing match.
Jesus loves boxing, man.
He sure does.
What do you think? That's why he rose on the... Anyways.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I'm not going to get too much into that. So we're at our 20-odd minutes now.
Are we?
Yeah, the first
Oh,
chunk
that's right,
was
we
9,
paused it.
and now we're at 12.
Yeah.
So we got our 20-odd minutes. That's Scientology in a nutshell for you.
Yeah.
Great religion if you're rich, and kind
And
of
if you love
crappy-
pirate treasure, doesn't get better than that.
I mean, I think you can go seek pirate treasure without becoming a Scientologist. But, you know, if it helps, it helps.
Doesn't hurt to have a cult with you.
Yeah, probably doesn't. I should probably look at... I only have a cult of one, and I don't mean him. I think it's just me.
I'm not in its cult.
Damn it.
Just
Anyways,
the voices in my head are...
We're out of here. So
Yeah.
that's it for us.
Okay, so he's going to do his thing.
Cheers. We'll see you guys next
son
week.
of a... Bye.